mixers, tile saws, and more. Check out their inventory in Lincoln, north of Cornhusker Highway on 56th Street, or online at sunbeltrentals.com.
Grab a free burger and beer at Elway Power Sports of Lincoln on April 27th during their Husker Spring Game tailgate. Meet the Elway Power Sports team, play some tailgate games with them, and enter for a chance to win an official John Elway autographed football. Check out their huge selection of boats and watercraft for the summer, along with hundreds of motorcycles, ATVs, and side-by-sides from all the major brands. Stop out and watch the game with them on April 27th. Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, 27th and I-80. They'll be tailgating all day.
Garage doors can be expensive. Are you keeping yours in the best condition possible? This is Cameron Hall with Doors Plus. Doors Plus is a locally owned business that prides itself on the fast, reliable, and friendly service. Doors Plus offers flexible scheduling so you can book an appointment that fits your busy day. My team and I will come out to your property, both commercial and residential, and provide you with the necessary information you need to make sure your garage door is in working and smooth condition. Give Doors Plus a call today at 402-590-5800 to book an appointment and learn more about our preventative maintenance plans. Doors Plus, garage doors, and more.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Do you need motivation to get to the gym on the weekend or even in general? Tune into the Movement Hour each Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m. Movement Academy owner Robert Kuhlman will host the show as he introduces new ways to stay in shape. The Movement Hour, every Saturday morning from 10 to 11 a.m. on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
The Sea of Red will fill Memorial Stadium on Saturday for the Red-White Spring Game. Start your day off right with the Elway Power Sports of Lincoln Spring Game Tailgate Show from 8 to 11 a.m. on 93.7 The Ticket. All your favorite ticket personalities will prepare you for what to watch and players to keep track of. It's the Elway Power Sports of Lincoln Spring Game Tailgate Show from 8 to 11 a.m. on Saturday on 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com, and statewide on TV at Allo 961. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America, this is the Don't Punt Hour with former Nebraska receiver.
Throwing over the middle, completes the pass. He's got speed to the end zone. Touchdown. 45 yards.
And return specialist.
This time he beats the kicker and one more.
DeMornay Pierson-El.
Not only does the sideline have confidence in Pierson-El, but Pierson-El has confidence in Pierson-El.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome in to the Don't Punt Hour here with the host, as always, DeMornay Pierson-El on the Allo VIP line. Really understand the importance of exceptional service with a local heart. And again, we got plenty of things to talk about. NBA playoffs, Husker spring game, and the NFL draft starts tonight. But nonetheless, let's bring him in. DeMornay Pierson-El, how's it going on this Thursday, man?
So I'm real good. And yourself?
I'm doing good. Just came back from Omaha. I'm not going to lie. That was a nightmare. Left about rush traffic hour. Not great. Anytime you're leaving on Omaha when you hit that rush traffic. It looked like California out there. I was a little bit surprised. A lot of construction going on, but nonetheless, I'm back here in Lincoln. I'm feeling good. We got NBA playoffs, and then again, the draft. And my Bears are on the clock first. They've been on the clock since they got that first-round pick. And I just want to start there. When it comes to the NFL draft, let's go with these QBs. And we talked a little bit about it on We Talk Facts. J.J. McCarthy, Jaden Daniels, Caleb Williams, Drake May. You can throw a lot of those guys in there. But with those quarterbacks, which one to you feels like they have the best chance of success and to have a real long-term career?
It depends on system. It depends on, who gets to where. Some of those earlier, draft picks, they might have, some troubles and whatnot. I like, if a quarterback goes at number 2 at Washington with Kingsbury, he's a better offensive coordinator than he is, head coach. The products that he's put out, in the league and whatnot. So I think, that could be a good fit, if Washington, takes his time there. If a quarterback goes to Minnesota's a nice fit. They got weapons and pieces there. So it's hard to say because you never know, what pieces are going to come there and everything like that, or, some of these terrible organizations or good organizations. So it just depends on, where they go. Bo Nix could go to Denver. I think that would be a good fit. I think he would do well with Sean Payton. Penix could go to Oakland. Could go to Las Vegas. That would be a good fit. So it just depends, on where people go.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. Situation means a lot. And with that being said, we can kind of just go through the list here, at least on the projected. Now, a lot of these could switch up. We've talked about J.J. McCarthy before, and I'm still surprised. A lot of these mock drafts got him going early to the Patriots as that 6th round pick, leaving other guys out there like Michael Penix Jr., where they have him sometimes as high as up to 11. And I'm going off of CBS's projections on one that I'm talking about right now. But let's start with Caleb Williams. If he lands on the Chicago Bears, because I think that's the one we can at least be most certain about, is that they will take Caleb Williams. Letting go of Justin Fields is pretty self-explanatory. But looking at that, with Caleb Williams going to the Chicago Bears, how confident are you with the success he could have? Now, they've done a lot of moves to try to revamp that roster, and it does look like we'll go ahead and drop the phone line because we got you back in on the stream. But good morning, Pierson-El. So Caleb Williams seems pretty set that he will land on the Chicago Bears. What is your confidence level that things are really going to take off with him there? Hey, you got yourself muted.
I'm not confident at all.
I should have kept you muted.
They got some pieces there and whatnot. The coach, you seen what they did with Justin Fields. So now all of a sudden he's this greatest coach and they're going to do, something differently or whatnot. And, he's a generational talent and this and that. Pat Mahomes got Andy Reid and you see what he made him into. So it's not so much that, I'm doubting the capabilities of Caleb. Caleb is an excellent, person. He did what he did. He won a Heisman and everything like that. Not taking anything from him. But where he's going, I don't trust it.
Yeah, I wish I could argue against the evidence more, but the history of quarterbacks at Chicago just hasn't been great. It hasn't been great at all. A lot of it just poor draft picks, and other times just situational. I think Justin Fields, there's other spots he could have landed out there, and his career would have looked a lot different. And before we move on here, with Justin Fields on the Pittsburgh Steelers, he is going to have a chance. They gave Russell Wilson the starting spot. You think that's beneficiary for him to be under Mike Tomlin and just to see Russell Wilson out there start and learn the game from the sidelines a little bit, the same way you saw Jordan Love, the same way you saw Patrick Mahomes, even though it was later in Fields' career? Do you think that helps him out here with the Pittsburgh Steelers and that he will eventually become that quarterback he was drafted to be?
Yes, you're going to an organization. They're not a losing organization. They haven't had a losing season in 16, 17 years. Now you get, a breath of fresh air. You get to relax. Everything's not, on your head. You get with a coach who understands you mentally, physically. He can build your confidence, back up and whatnot. And it's, you in a place to where, if the coordinator stays there for 2 years or whatnot, you're learning the system. There's not a lot of change that's happening. It's consistent. And, with that, they have some weapons there and whatnot, and they're going to continue, to build on with that and whatnot. And, so I think that's, a good situation for him. I know they didn't pick up his 5th-year option, but, you got 1 year to prove it and whatnot. So it's just a money type of thing, but I like him there.
Yeah, and it makes sense. I understand why the Pittsburgh Steelers wouldn't want to pick up the 5th-year option. I mean, why would you when you have Russell Wilson in the room too? But he's still going to have a chance to go ahead and try to earn that. And I think it's going to work out for him. I just also have a lot of faith in Mike Tomlin. I think he really is just one of the elite coaches out there. What he's able to do with a minimal roster year after year, even in times with Ben Roethlisberger, I know it's disappointing, but that team was always over 500. And they were always fighting for the playoffs. You can't say the same about a lot of the other organizations. Just looking at the Patriots now, that's a program that was dominant and is now struggling. Mike Tomlin, you give him credit. That is never a
coach. He can coach.
100%.
He's going to hold dudes accountable. Pittsburgh is a different place, organizational wide. It's the reason why they've only had a few head coaches Like,
how long has Mike Tomlin been coaching there? The previous coach was
years,
there just as long.
Ever since, was it Parcells? I think that left, Bill Parcells.
Mm-hmm.
They've had 2 Super Bowl coaches, so they haven't had many head coaches changing in that organization. That organization handle things right, by their players and coaches having the right chemistry and right things there.
Yeah, and excuse me, Bill Cowherd, not Parcells, but yeah, 1992, 2006, and Mike Tomlin, 07 to the present. They just have long runs, and before that, you want to even go deeper. Chuck Noll, 1969 to 1991, 3 coaches since 69.
That's what I'm saying. So it's they trust in the process. They're okay with putting things in a crock pot, let things cook on its own and whatnot. So I mean, you in a prime position to lead a team. They got the future and they working on it now. So at times you'll come in there, learn things and whatnot instead of being in Chicago, having to figure things out on his own and not really having an example. You got 2 Super Bowl caliber people around you, your head coach and Russell Wilson, to kind of mentor and guide you. So now you can kind of just take back and learn and not I think I'm gonna do this just because I think it's what's best for right now. So that's good for his development and for future purposes.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. And we got the Bears officially on the clock here. I think we all know where it's going, but let's continue on here.
Are they going to wait, or are they going to take them?
If they want to wait, I don't know what we're doing here. It's pretty obvious. And as these picks come in live, I do want to talk about them, but we got to wait still. These teams start coming out here. And man, I got to get on the TV. My first mistake right there. I don't go on the left. I'm looking purely off the NFL website updates. Just came back from Omaha. Cut me a break. But if you guys want to join in, we're talking quarterbacks right now. Give me your guy that you think is going to be a bust, and give me the guy you think has the highest guarantee to make it work.
Bust. Unless the Chargers trade away Herbert and they pick him there, and he's there with Harbaugh. Harbaugh knows what he can do. So bust there. I'm still taking JJ. If he goes anywhere in the first round, I'm just like, yeah, I don't see it. Highest potential out of the quarterbacks, or just anybody?
You can go anybody, but give me a quarterback on top of it. And I will say you can factor in situation, because you look at Bryce Young, that's just tough. I have no idea what you're supposed. I don't care who that is. That's a very tough organization to build back up.
That one's hard. Because after the first 5, where the first probably 6 people are going. After that it might not be this. It might not be what it is.
Michael Penix is intriguing because part of me does hope he slips a little bit in the draft so he can be on a good team, because he's a guy that
if the Raiders can't get Daniels, Penix.
Yes,
Penix.
I'm with that. They got him as high as 11, which still just kind of shocks me because
a Pac-12 quarterback. Some other notable Pac-12 quarterbacks: Jared Goff, Aaron Rodgers. I'm not saying he's that type of caliber, but I'm just saying the Pac-12 quarterbacks that have come out and everything like that. I think Bo Nix will shock people. I think Bo Nix will shock people. So if he goes to a good team in a certain situation, I think that's. He's not as talked about, and he's kind of forgot. People forget he was in the Heisman race until he lost to Washington.
Yep.
And then Penix kind of took over the Heisman race. So I like Bo Nixon as far as depending on where he goes. Even if he has to sit for a year or 2 behind somebody, wouldn't be bad.
Yeah, I agree with you there. That is. I'd be okay with that fit. Is there a team out there that you feel like, I don't care which quarterback lands there, that's a red flag team that needs a quarterback that you just absolutely would not want to go to?
A team that, if I'm a quarterback that I don't want to go to?
You better not say Chicago.
Of course I'm saying Chicago. Chicago is appealing, but yet it has its pros and cons too. Yes, they've gotten more people there and everything like that, but that's the first. They don't have an identity We don't know if that, the people that they brought in, if that's gonna work. Keenan Allen been playing on the West Coast his whole career. Like now he coming to the Midwest, it's cold. It's different. So you don't. It's there will be hard. New England, just because it's
that's one for me.
It's post Tom Brady. Anything that you do is going to be compared to him, and it's never going to be good enough unless you get 7 Super Bowls, and that's not easy to get. So I think that's another place that would be difficult.
I think it's fair to say New York Giants might be up there as well. I mean, those guys they're hurting.
I like their coach. I think he gets a bad rap from the media and everything like that. Their fans are kind of like Nebraska fans. They're on you and they're going to speak their mind and stuff like that. So I feel like the outside world can make that job tougher, but I like DeBoer. I like what he's doing up there. I like what he does with his quarterbacks and everything like that. I just don't think Daniel Jones is the place to be.
Yeah, it's just tough for the reason I say is just the quarterbacks there just have always Daniel Jones. Maybe you're in the belief that they got every ounce of talent out of that guy, and maybe you would be confident in a team like that. But yeah, I think the Chicago Bears, their past would tell you on the Chicago Bears, the pick is in. We'll find out who it is.
Who it is.
Yeah, it's going to be Williams. I'd be shocked if they announced anybody else. I think the entire world would be. But again, I think when you're coming to these quarterbacks, that situation is absolutely pivotal. I think the Patriots is just going to be tough. And a lot of people got J.J. McCarthy going to the New England Patriots. There's just so many unknowns there. But I am surprised that with the Chicago Bears, I know the history isn't great with QBs, but you got a couple of great wide receivers in there. You got a defense that is really finding their groove. That was starting to get a ton of turnovers, putting that offense in a good position. They just got to start putting all those pieces together. You got great tight ends. The offensive line's been revamped as well. The running back room, I love the addition of DeAndre Swift. I mean, is it just the fact of their history, or are you not confident with the roster, or is it the coaching? What's you as the Achilles heel of why you wouldn't be a Chicago Bear right now?
It's the whole organization. It's just terrible. Since they let go of Lovie Smith, they've been awful. They've had how many winning seasons since then? Maybe 1, 2 at the most. Maybe.
I think it's 2. It might even be 1 since Lovie Smith left.
So I mean, it's just and ever since then, he had them in the Super Bowl. They don't like to play. They don't like to pay their players. They do things the cheap way. And I'm not saying that's the coach's fault. I'm just saying the organization. I'm not blaming who exactly in the organization. But
Poles is fixed that. He's spending money now. And that's why the Bears feel
I said it's gotten better. But they don't have an identity. So you coming in there not to know exactly what the Chicago way is or what things are. And they looking to you to change things, and you trying to figure it out as a rookie of the face of the franchise. Like, that's not easy. It'd be different if he was going to the Cowboys. You understand what the Cowboys is. You understand what their franchise brings and whatnot. All you got to do is handle what you need to handle on the offensive side of stuff. Jerry's gonna back you, protect you and whatnot. So Chicago is just rough. Like they've been falling since Lovie.
Yeah, and we got it up right here. It's been disappointing since Lovie Smith left. The year he got canned, final season, he was 10-6, and then from there on, 8-8, 5-11, 6-10, 3-13. Another coach switch. Fox comes in there, 6-10, 3-13, 5-11. Then you get your winning season. Nagy.
Fangio is a D coordinator. That was probably their best time when Khalil Mack and Eric, they had a strong defense.
Mm-hmm. And Trubisky actually had a pretty solid season. A lot of people are high on him. But then after that, you get a couple locked up even 8-8, 8-8, 6-11. Nagy gets the can. Eberflus steps in. 3-14, 7-10 year 2. I do think year 3, there is a buzz around that team. And the only reason I was very anti-Eberflus, I can't lie to myself, but the team did start to rally around him and give him a lot of support. And I can't say I've seen that since Lovie Smith, really. I haven't seen the players really wrap around the coach and have his back and support him. So I got a lot of optimism. Obviously, being a Chicago Bear fan myself, we absolutely need it. I was going through how many times we've lost to the Green Bay Packers straight. Like, we just need some pride in that organization. New stadium ideas as well coming out there. There's plenty of things to be excited for, and the pick is officially in. Caleb Williams will be a Chicago Bear. No surprises there. But now this is where things get interesting, because Drake May, Jaden McDaniels, J.J. McCarthy, Michael Penix Jr., Bo Nix.
Please don't play. I
got you. He's up there.
I need Daniels to the Raiders. That'll make my night. I need Daniels to the Raiders, and I'm looking to see if they trading up or if something's going on. Yeah.
How nervous are you? Because the Commanders, in my opinion, are 100% going to grab Jaden Daniels. To me, he is the second best quarterback in this draft class. What he did at LSU was incredible. He just didn't have a defense to help him play in those massive games.
It's going to be good for Dan. It's going to be good for that area. That's, the DMV area. That's kind of where I'm from. You got an electrifying quarterback. And you have an electrifying offensive coordinator. Your defense is established and dominant. Washington's going to have a good defense. Not worried about that. Dan Quinn's there. So you know what he's going to do on the defensive side. You're not, worried about that. It's if they get Daniels, that'll be scary. You have a dynamic quarterback that can run, and that can throw. He can beat you with everything. So it will be a good fit. I don't want Washington to do it just because, I'm selfish with the Raiders.
Understandable. I can see why. Jaden Daniels, I mean, if Caleb Williams wasn't out there, that is 100% who I'd want the Bears to take. And with that Commanders offensive line, probably going to be shaky year two. Have a guy with some wheels, some guy that's good at navigating the pocket and scrambling. I think you're probably going to need some of that in your back pocket because that is definitely a need for them, as well as some more key wide receivers. They just really haven't had that superstar yet. But they're still on the clock. We'll see who comes in. We'll see if it kind of wrecks the morning Pierson-El's hope for the Raiders. But if Jaden Daniels, I'm presuming that he does get selected number 2 overall, who is that next QB for you? Give me your third QB that you would like to take if he's still available.
Just any team or just who's on the clock right now?
For you, who would you want because Jaden Daniels probably going to be gone. Who is the best third QB if you were a team and you had that third pick? Penix 3.
Yes. Forget Drake May. I don't want Drake May.
The disrespect to North Carolina. It's fair. Drake May, he is just kind of under the radar. I am just kind of at a loss.
Drake May has a lot of Trubisky tendencies. I think he's better than Trubisky. But I'm not sold on him. I'm just not. I'm not there. And I could be wrong. He can go to organization and turn out to be something great. But I like Penix better. That's just me. He's battled through things. He understands it's a process of what injuries with from having a not so good record to battling and coming back to to taking Washington to where they took him at and everything like that. I think his personality, what he brings, fits to what the Raiders want, and a franchise quarterback in the face of things.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I think what I like about him the most is his development. He had some years where it looked like it was going to go downhill, and he just got better. He retuned his game, and then he was really on the chance for that Heisman, or Bo Nix was on the chance for that Heisman run. And then here comes Michael Penix Jr. in Washington and said, nope, absolutely not. I'm going to end that conversation right now. And that was a huge game. And those pressure cooker games, those mean a lot. I need to see those high draft prospects because especially if you're going to be heading to the NFL, you're going to have a ton of pressure, a ton of media on you. And if you can't perform at the college level with that pressure, that's going to be a problem in the NFL. I mean, that stuff, at least to me, I track it.
God bless it. He's gone.
The pick is in, and you must be ahead of me. It's good. Jaden Daniels, number 2. I can't deny it. Good pick for Washington, in my opinion. I think that is.
Forget Washington.
I'm sure DP's happy out there that the Washington get a guy in Jaden Daniels. Now, this one's interesting. Number 3, the New England Patriots. This is a franchise that I would be very nervous if I'm a QB heading down there just because of the uncertainties. Bill Belichick's gone. He's just you don't know what's going to be happening. And we do got some from the text line. This one from Jesse. Caleb Williams will be the biggest number 1 draft in history, period. You know what, Jesse? That's great. I think we're going to wrap up with that because I would love for that to happen. And again, 402 versus 45685. Cam Newton?
Yeah, as overall number 1 pick, yes.
Yeah. I think he's talking longevity, like overall. I think he's hyped on the future.
All right. Okay.
I'm going to have to cut your mic here if you keep talking down on my Bears. Michael and Mitch Trubisky, come on, that's a Nickelodeon MVP out there. You got to give him his due credit as well. That being said, we'll throw it to break. Got the morning Pierson-El streaming in on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Allo Channel 961, Starter Heyman text line 402-464-5685. We'll throw it to break. We'll keep talking NFL draft. Caleb Williams 1, Jaden Daniels 2. Patriots are on the clock for number 3. We'll talk about it next. Don't go anywhere.
I'm Dave Austed. And I'm Ryan Austed. Every golfer will get value from being custom fit. The truth is, the higher handicappers will get more value from being custom fit than the low handicappers.
It's changed so much since my dad started the business in 1963. We now have hundreds of thousands of dollars in technology, and we know exactly what the spin rate is, what your launch angle is. We encourage you to bring your current clubs in now, and we can compare it. And guys walk out of the store knowing that the purchase they just made is going to give them 21 more yards off the tee box. Play better, have fun, and shop Austed's.
Okay, it's time to sell the house. How do we even begin to choose from the hundreds of realtors in town?
Easy. We make a pros list.
You mean a pros and cons list?
No, just a pros list. We need someone with pro photography to showcase the house in the best possible way, pro marketing to make sure we get maximum exposure, pro negotiations so we know we get the best price.
This is one of those times where you already know the right answer, isn't it?
You know it is. Ben Bleicher and Professional Realty Group.
Contact Ben Bleicher and the team at Professional Realty Group of Berkshire Hathaway's Home Services Ambassador. Online at prg-ne.com.
At Union Bank, people don't have your money. Your money has people. First home people, investment people, people who answer the phone and your chats, dream car people, dream retirement people, driving your dream car in your dream retirement people, small business people, credit card people, and all the other people you need. At Union Bank, our people help you do more than you dreamed possible. So stop in and say hello. We can't wait to see you. Union Bank and Trust, member FDIC.
Do you need motivation to get to the gym on the weekend or even in general? Tune into the Movement Hour each Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m. Movement Academy owner Robert Kuhlman will host the show as he introduces new ways to stay in shape. The Movement Hour every Saturday morning from 10 to 11 a.m. on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hey, baseball fans, join the Blur Tailgate at Hilton Omaha this June for our 12th annual hospitality event during the College Baseball Championship Series. Book an experience for your clients or employees with an inclusive bar, buffet, TVs, music, and tailgate games. Secure your spot today and let Blur Events take care of all the work so you can enjoy the day. Plus, we're just steps away from Charles Schwab Field. Visit blurevents.com to book your group, buy tickets, or learn about sponsorships. That's blurevents.com, your college baseball and football tailgate destination.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
Hi everyone, Kendall Warnock, A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. Spring is here, summer is fast approaching. With weddings, vacations, and weekend getaways on your mind, do not let car issues prevent you from getting where you need to be. Car problems shouldn't be something that you put up with. Let us get you back on the road in comfort and safety. We diagnose all makes and models from Porsches to Hondas, Toyotas, and Chevrolets. We fix a variety of issues with all of them with our talented techs and our experienced staff. A1 Automotive at 11th and L, downtown Lincoln, always honest answers.
The Sea of Red will fill Memorial Stadium on Saturday for the Red-White Spring Game. Start your day off right with the Elway Power Sports of Lincoln Spring Game Tailgate Show from 8 to 11 a.m. on 93.7 The Ticket. All your favorite ticket personalities will prepare you for what to watch and players to keep track of. It's the Elway Power Sports of Lincoln Spring Game Tailgate Show from 8 to 11 a.m. on Saturday on 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com, and statewide on TV at Allo 961.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now, they've raised wages again, and they're hiring for production operators at $24.62 per hour, which grows to $28.97 per hour within 3 years. Skilled trade positions now start at $33.36 per hour, with opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates, with increased bonuses and vacation for new hires. To learn more or apply, go to continentaljobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
At Southeast Community College, community is our middle name. Our continuing education classes offer personal interest, traffic safety and licensing, online learning, and adult education classes across Southeast Nebraska, or online in your own home. Learn pottery or floral design. Take a computer course. Learn Spanish, how to start writing a book, or Air Fryer 101. See the full schedule of continuing education classes online at southeast.edu/continuing. SCC, your path to possible.
If you're in Seward or Milford, listen up. Select Plumbing is now servicing your area with no trip charges from Lincoln. Select Plumbing works on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate, 402-560-6197. It's not just Lincoln, Waverly, and the surrounding area anymore. It's also Seward and Milford with no trip charges. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
This is the Don't Punt Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here is your host, DeMornay Pierson-El.
All right, welcome in. And as we bring this one in on the Don't Punt Hour, the Patriots are on the clock. And at number 3, they take Drake May. The pick is actually in. Drake May out of North Carolina, heading to the New England Patriots. And we got, as always, DeMornay Pierson-El streaming in Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Allo Channel 961. So Carter Heyman text line, it's the draft. Give me your thoughts. And we'll read them as they come in here. 402-464-5685. I do got to read this one. As much as it pains me, it's pretty hilarious. So we got to go back to our guy, Jesse, here on the text line. He said, sorry to disappoint you, but auto text left out the word bust in all caps. So Caleb Williams will be the biggest number 1 bust in NFL draft history, period, was what he was actually trying to say. So Jesse, that's brutal to do that to me on a 1-2. I appreciate you listening. That hurts, man. Then we got unknown texter 2757 DPE slamming the Bears like the Raiders have been any better in the modern times. Can't agree more with that.
Better than the Bears. Better than the Bears.
You guys and their quarterbacks. How was Jimmy G when you thought that'd be a good move? And you guys,
well, first off, you when that happened, I told you I was pissed off about that. So again, I don't care. I said I didn't like it. He's injury prone. Whatever. Nope. Didn't. It wasn't. No. So he's upset.
Marcus Russell in 07, where you're like, yeah, give me Jamarcus Russell.
Back then, I wasn't even a Raiders fan, so it don't even matter.
Fair enough. We'll have to find out here. I will give you this, though. Aiden O'Connell, I'm not sure what he's going to be yet, but he did show some flashes. I have no clue what his ceiling is. Obviously, the last QB draft pick for the Raiders, but we got Drake May heading to the New England Patriots. Give me your thoughts on this move. Do you like it for the Patriots, or is there anybody else out there? I get it. You like Michael Penix Jr., but I do think this fit, it could work out for the Patriots, just kind of based off the style of the game.
I don't feel terrible about it. I think it's a New England Patriots pick. There's a some uncertainty with Bill being gone. I think the guy that they brought in to replace him, I think he's a good coach. I've heard a lot from a lot of people liking him and everything like that. They're going to move on from Mac Jones. Mm-hmm. So I think that can work. They have some pieces on the outside and that tight end. You got a strong defense, a guy who was actually in Bill Belichick's defense and whatnot. So I think he'll be solid. I don't think it'll be terrible.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what it does because his stats I pop, but that third year, obviously 2023 season, now being drafted into the NFL for 24, but 2022, 38 touchdowns to only 7 interceptions. Year 3, not bad at all. 24 touchdowns to 9 interceptions. Definitely had a dip, though. Completion rating as well went from about 67% to that junior year. Actually got worse at about 63%. So he didn't quite have the steady, what do we want to say here? The steady growth you'd like to see. But you could also argue just with the talent around it, maybe it was going to be that. But I don't hate it. I don't hate it at all for the Patriots.
No.
And it does feel like a loaded draft class.
Turning a new page for them.
Yeah. How certain are you of this draft class? Because when in terms of QBs, and once the skill players start getting picked off the board, we'll dive into those guys too. But when it comes to this, we did this with 2021, talking about that draft class, and we still have to kind of see. I mentioned Jamarcus Russell, 07. That is a nightmare. Not just the Raiders. Everybody in that draft class for the QB position really didn't quite pan out. Is there any confidence in this draft class that this is a loaded draft class and we're going to have some real superstars?
Harrison AZ. Oh yeah, I'm early. Yeah. I think it's a well-rounded class. I think the first couple of rounds will be solidified players. Now late in the draft, I'm not too sure, but I think your earlier rounds, I think it'll be guys that'll get multiple second contracts and everything like that.
Yeah, fair enough. And we got Mississippi Mud Dog coming in here. The Raiders are the AFC West version of the Bears. I'll clean it up. Total cheeks is what he calls them. But he also thinks Caleb Williams.
He sounds like a Chiefs fan and a hater, but it's okay.
Maybe he's a Green Bay Packer fan. Let me explain the Bears state. Mississippi Mud Dog, give me your NFL team. And then when we get to that team, we can see who you think you guys are going to draft. But we got Drake May, last pick. He's going to the Patriots. Up next, the Arizona Cardinals. Their pick is in. Marvin Harrison Jr., or who do you got? I don't mind that move. The real decision for those guys, do you think this is the right decision to get a guy like that or use that pick to trade down and just get more value? But they already do have quite a few picks in this one. They got 2 first-round picks as it is.
With the departure of D-Hop, it makes sense. Their receiver core is kind of lackluster. They're not really known peoples and everything like that. So give Kyler Murray a real true pro athlete, a real number one, and hopefully he can turn things around with a new coach. Year two with a new coach.
Yeah, I'm okay with that one as well. I don't think they need to move on. I think Marvin Harrison Jr. is the right pick. You could argue, get Romeo Odounze in there instead, but I like this one. And Mississippi Mud Dog is a Green Bay Packer fan. That makes all the sense in the world. I always wonder, talk about Bears. This guy always calling it a big flop for Caleb Williams. Makes sense. You put it together, Green Bay Packers fans. It kills me, but they got a lot to be excited for with Jordan Love and how young that team is and how good they played. Just the NFC.
I like LaFleur. LaFleur is nice.
He is a good coach. I'll give him credit for that. The fans, I can't say the same. I don't know about the fans. Up next, though, we got the Los Angeles Chargers on the clock, number 5. This is the first time we got a team, 2 times around, we got a team that doesn't even get a QB in here. They got a lot of options. They lost Keenan Allen, so you could go that route. But who do you think they should go ahead and pick up here?
I think Bowers out of Georgia.
The tight end, yeah.
Yeah, they don't. I mean, you got a first round wide receiver from last year. You kind of got some. You have known people in that receiver room. If you don't go there, then you obviously could go the kid out of LSU to have a true number one receiver. Those are the only 2 picks that I would get just to help stack that offense.
Yeah, I'm with you there. That one's fine. I would say though they could go just get a blue chip offensive lineman.
That too, yeah. It depends on what you want to do, but with Harbaugh there, you never know if he's toughness and everything like that. He could go offensive lineman, stack it for the running back room. I know they signed J.K. Dobbins, but he's been hurt all but 1 year he's been in the league. And they lost, Austin Eckler. So we'll see. It can go 1 of 3 ways. I'm not too confident or stuck on one person or anything like that.
Yeah, fair enough. I'm not necessarily against that one either. I would like them to go ahead and try to grab an offensive lineman. I do think the first team grabbed that blue chip.
You got is it Slater that was out of Northwestern? You still got him there. He was hurt last year.
I would probably go for him. He's just going to be definitely a blue chip junior out of Alabama. He fits the size description that you're looking for in NFL lineman. Just a definite beast. Probably one of the best, I think arguably the best offensive lineman last year in college football. I think they'll probably lean that way, but we'll see. I mean, this is the class where you got a lot of loaded skill players. Obviously, they're not going to go in the QB route, and running backs, that's always one where it takes a little bit before we get down that road. But I think that's the move. Get yourself a blue chip offensive lineman and set yourself up. But before we left off here, as we're going through these picks, I did ask you about this draft class. And what is like the hardest position group outside of QBs? Because I think that's just easy. What's the hardest position group to nail when it comes to the NFL draft night?
Ooh.
I need
it's a toss up of three makeups for me. I think the tackle position, the left tackle, it's been hit or miss. Obviously, receivers hit or miss big time, and running backs are hit or miss. You know, the game has changed from running backs. You know, they're not getting as paid and utilized as they were, unless you're like a McCaffrey or a Kamara. So more of those style of running backs, they'll have more lenient way with things and whatnot. But it's I say it's a toss up between receiver and running back. Honestly,
I'm with you on the running back. I'm not with you on the running back. I actually think teams do pretty well. Wide receivers, though, yes. The position groups that seem to do well, that regardless of the team, they typically get it right, are those physically imposing players where when you're looking at linemen, you're looking for that size and you got a lot of tape on them. When it comes to running back, it's kind of the same thing. Wide receivers, though, I mean, we got our own guy, Trey Palmer, out of Nebraska, that shocked a lot of people with how lethal he was down with Baker Mayfield on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. What is it about the wide receiver? Because that one, I feel like should be easy. You're just looking at the time. You have plenty of film on their route running. Like, what's the challenge with wide receivers?
System. You are you a more so spread it out team? Are you a pro style West Coast team? Are you a heavy running team? Is your quarterback old and necessarily doesn't have the arm to pick defenses apart? So it's receivers rely on other people to do their job for us to get our job done. So depending what style of system you're running, who you got at throwing the ball or who you got at blocking and whatnot, can determine how accurate or how things will go for them.
Yeah, that actually makes a lot of sense. That system definitely plays a factor. But then again, I look at guys like Trey Palmer, and I'm like, man, that guy's just incredibly fast. And
okay, for instance, as a wide receiver, coming out, would you rather play with the Tennessee Titans or would you want to play with the Broncos? Just looking at the offensive scheme wise, okay, you're not AJ Brown. You're not, they got one shot deep to D-Hop. They might hit Burks or whatever. Other than that, they running the ball with when Henry was there, they run it with Henry, or go out to Denver where you got Sean Payton and you got three receivers over 700 yards, three receivers over 800 yards, and double-digit touchdowns for these receivers or whatnot. If you're a receiver, I want to play in that offense. They throwing the ball, so it's definitely scheme on where these receivers go, because if you're not really playing on their strengths and you just picking up the guy because he's the best available and he don't fit your scheme, well, in 3-4 years, all people gonna call him a bust because where he went to, they wasn't using him for his strengths.
I'm with you there. We'll throw it to break here because the pick is in for the Los Angeles Chargers.
Tackle. Joe out.
Okay, so they did. They went. They got a blue chip lineman. It makes sense for what they're trying to do. And you mentioned it. I can't even believe I didn't factor on Harbaugh being over there too. That offense, they're not going to go away from the passing game, obviously, but no. I think they're going to revamp that quite a bit and getting the running game back, especially in their division, could work out very well. You get a blue chip lineman, makes sense. I like the pick. You could argue which blue chip lineman you'd want, but that one
it's a good
totally
one.
Makes sense right now. Yeah, absolutely, and that's why they call blue chip lineman. It's one of the, in my opinion, easier groups to kind of try to judge and assess. The only thing you really worry about those guys is longevity for obvious reasons. But with that being said, we'll throw it to break here, and we'll keep talking a little more NFL draft, and we might even throw in Husker spring game as this thing may slow down a little bit as the decisions get tougher. That clock might get all the way to the end before they get that pick. But if you guys want to join in, as you have been, 402-464-5685. We'll throw it to break. One more segment on the other side.
Your sprinklers are watering the street or flooding your backyard. If you're on a list that doesn't exist, it's time for Judson Irrigation. At Judson Irrigation, Lee or Lacey or Judson will make an appointment. You pick a time and they'll be there to fix your sprinkler system. Now that's service, a dying art these days.
Keep summer green. Call Judson Irrigation 402-420-6277 or judsonirrigation.com.
Sandhills Global is hiring. With their fast-paced, growing culture, they have hundreds of new openings in sales, marketing, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Full-time roles offer a 4.5-day work week, along with flexible internships in most areas. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Find your fit today at www.sandhills.jobs.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now, they've raised wages again, and they're hiring for production operators at $24.62 per hour, which grows to $28.97 per hour within 3 years. Skilled trade positions now start at $33.36 per hour, with opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates, with increased bonuses and vacation for new hires. To learn more or apply, go to continentaljobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
What do you think of when you hear the chocolate season? Artisan chocolates? Of course, they have the best chocolates this side of the Atlantic. Friendly neighborhood coffee shop? Yup, they're that too. A nationally recognized top-tier brunch spot. Waffle weekends, baby. And the place to grab a gift for literally any occasion? Everybody loves chocolate. See for yourself at The Chocolate Season, 40th and Old Cheney, or order ahead online at thechocolateseason.com.
John Henry's has a brand new membership club to protect your entire home in one program. With a VIP and a deluxe option, we will help you find the plan that best fits your needs. Receive discounts on services and equipment, priority service, complimentary inspections, and so much more. Protect your home's plumbing, heating, cooling, and electrical systems all in one membership. Call John Henry's to learn more.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air,
and Electrical.
Are you looking to get into the electrical construction industry or wanting a new scene? The Electrical Workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today. There's more time to save big at Bonsall Pool & Spa with their extended Double the Savings sales event. Now through April 30th, buyers can take advantage of up to $1,500 in savings when they purchase a new hot spring spa. Visit the Bonsall Pool & Spa showroom at 33rd and Pioneers or visit their website at www.bonsallpool.com to learn more about this hot sale. Act now because this offer ends April 30th. Bonsall Pool & Spa, every day made better.
Spring sports are here and it's time to upgrade your equipment. But don't go rushing to your big box store. Play It Again Sports is your place to go for all spring sports equipment for baseball, softball, golf, and disc golf. Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And don't forget, buying from them is a great way to get new products with great discounts by also bringing in your used items for store credit or cash on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
The Sea of Red will fill Memorial Stadium on Saturday for the Red-White Spring Game. Start your day off right with the Elway Power Sports of Lincoln Spring Game Tailgate Show from 8 to 11 a.m. on 93.7 The Ticket. All your favorite ticket personalities will prepare you for what to watch and players to keep track of. It's the Elway Power Sports of Lincoln Spring Game Tailgate Show from 8 to 11 a.m. on Saturday on 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com, and statewide on TV at Allo 961.
You're spending $300 a month. Binge drinking is the most common form of excessive drinking, which costs the United States more than $191 billion each year. By drinking less, you will save $300 a month. If you or a loved one is looking for help, find a treatment facility near you at findtreatment.gov. For immediate support, call, text, or chat 988.
Brought to you by Nebraska DHHS in partnership with SAMHSA.
At Southeast Community College, community is our middle name. Our continuing education classes offer personal interest, traffic safety and licensing, online learning, and adult education classes across Southeast Nebraska, or online in your own home. Learn pottery or floral design, take a computer course, learn Spanish, how to start writing a book, or Air Fryer 101. See the full schedule of continuing education classes online at southeast.edu/continuing. SCC, your path to possible.
This is Lancaster County Attorney Pat Condon reminding you to vote for my friend and colleague Carolyn Bozin. Carolyn Bozin is a strong voice for Lincoln who we need representing us in the legislature. Carolyn Bozin voted for historic funding for education to support our schools and for the largest property tax relief package in Nebraska history. Carolyn Bozin is the voice we need representing us in the legislature. This is Lancaster County Attorney Pat Condon. Join me in supporting Carolyn Bozin for legislature on May 14th.
Paid for by Bozin for legislature.
This is the Don't Punt Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here is your host, DeMornay Pierson-El.
All right, welcome back in. Final segment of the Don't Punt Hour. We got the host, as always, DeMornay Pierson-El streaming in. You want to put a face to the voice, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Allo, Channel 961. And as you guys have been joining, Mississippi Mud Dog, Jesse, and a few unknown texters as well, 402-464-5685. We got a little bit of time here left. A couple picks came through. You got Joe Alt getting picked out of Notre Dame. He will be heading to the Titans. I don't think too many people, or excuse me, the Chargers. Titans are on the clock currently, but Los Angeles Chargers, they take Joe Alt, the left tackle out of Notre Dame. Only gave up 2 sacks on the prompt through 25 starts. Great there. And then New York takes Malik Neighbors, which hurts because that's the guy I really liked. Obviously, you still got the Washington wide receiver out there, but those 2 picks, what do you like about him as we're wrapping up the show?
His dad was a first-round draft pick. With reestablishing, what Harbaugh wants to do out there with, having an identity, the line is where you start at. So why not, do that? Your quarterback has had, some troubles with, being healthy, and it's a long season or whatnot. So he's been hit a lot early on in his career. So they wanted to address that. And, with Neighbors, with Neighbors, him in New York, I don't know how I feel about it. Like I know they want to maybe stretch the field. I know they had Slayton, who hasn't showed up for things because he hasn't gotten paid. I know Wandale is down there and everything like that. So I guess for sure up, you're outside. I guess if that's who they wanted, that's who they wanted. I mean, but they've picked receivers, these past couple of years early on, and it's been. I'm not saying it's been a miss, but it hasn't really panned out.
I'm shocked they didn't take a quarterback. Still some good ones on the board.
Probably not enough. Not any ones that they liked.
Yeah.
To kind of change. So they $40 million in still with Daniels. It is what it is. Give him another year. Put pieces around him to be successful and go from there.
Yeah, but by the time you're done with Jones, you can move on and you can start paying for that rookie contract. You can kind of I get it. Timeline-wise, it'd be tough, but I still think that's the route you need to go. I don't hate it. I think Malik Neighbors, great wide receiver. I don't hate the fact that I took him out of all the wide receivers, but tough. I think, honestly, if I was the Giants, I would have tried to trade up. And maybe they were trying to do that, but I would try to trade up and get the quarterback that you do want. I thought that would be the move they make. But like you said, they love drafting those high prospect wide receivers, and they got another one in Neighbors. So with that being said, we will go ahead and wrap things up. The Tennessee Titans are on the clock. We'll see
They made their pick. JC, out of Alabama.
Say it one more time.
JC Latham.
Oh, yeah. Another great. That's why I said him earlier with Latham for the Chargers, because he's a really good run blocker. And you mentioned Harbaugh, and I was like, that makes sense to get. Now, Joe Alt, I think he would have been that second pick. I think it was between those two, but just because he is a great running style type of offensive lineman,
I'm anxious to see what Harbaugh is going to do, because they got Slater a couple years ago, who was an All-Pro maybe a year and a half ago at left tackle. So I doubt that they just draft a kid and not put him at left tackle. Yeah. So it's interesting to see what they do with that.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun to watch. If anything, the Titans pick is in. We got about 18 seconds here, and this has been the Don't Punt Hour. I'll see if I can give you that pick if any of you guys are driving on the road so you can stay off your phones. But again, appreciate you guys listening. Shout out to the Morning Pierson-El for streaming in, and you'll just have to find out later who the Titans pick with their draft pick. We'll talk to you again next week.
See you.
Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits is your place in North Lincoln to go for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer.